Bien le bonjour everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm very sorry I have to make an apology because I was wrong. But I was still right actually. I was wrong about Philip's expertise, but I'm still right about how to use him, so yeah, who cares? I'm right as usual. Alright, enough joking around. Alright, so that's Philip's expertise, alright, a double cast, everyone knows it. Um, I got baited by the wording on this. You should know by now there are a lot of skills that are very poorly worded. So whenever this commander uses their active skill, uh, when I do see this commander, I actually think it's the primary. It reads the primary, just because of how Zhuge skill used to be described. Whenever this commander troop uses an active skill, it was whenever this commander's troops secondary uses an active skill. Um, so I thought, yeah, this is a skill that is attached to the primary. That's how I thought it was working. So naturally, I thought that 40% chance was for the primary and 20% chance was for the secondary. Um, Due to my last video where I was talking about some secret future pairing with Queen, well, I went to test it. So yeah, I generated a truckload of reports. Uh, so 100 reports. I had to make one more because I messed up one. Actually, that's my second batch. I had to make 200 reports. So yeah, I went through a lot just to prove myself wrong. So yeah, so again, I have 30% chance for the primary commander to double cast his active skill. If it doesn't occur, 20% chance for the secondary to cast his active skill. So the final numbers were those. So what I expected was something close to this. So the formula is pretty easy. Uh, Basically, when there are no double casts, that means I won, quote unquote, a 60% coin flip, and then a 80% coin flip. Basically, I failed a 40%, then a 20%. It's like winning a 60 and a 80. For the primary, well, it's just winning a 40%. And for secondary is losing a 40%, aka winning a 60%, and then winning a 2%. All right, the total is equal to 200. So yeah, I'm right about my maths. As you can see, this is not very compelling. So yeah, I went through another batch. It was much more compelling if this is the other way around. Like I was rolling Philip secondary, so the primary, well, I mean the primary, which is not Philip, has a 20% chance to double cast. Well, 20 is very close to 17. Then for Philips, as secondary, he first need to for the primary commander to fail, so win is like winning 80%, and then win himself is 40% coin flip. Yeah, the numbers are way much better. So I was wrong. All right, this is actually 40% for Philip and 20% for whoever else. So why do I say we actually don't care? Well, because in any way you want to double cast a big eating ability. You want to double cast Archer, you want to double cast Zhuge you want to double cast not Queen, sorry, BQ. Those are big eating AoEs, and this is much better than 2 extra seconds on that buff. That buff is massive, alright, but most of the time it won't line up with another big eating AoE. So yeah, 20% more damage on maybe 1 or 2 big AoE is not as good as one full big AoE. And by the way, it's one full big AoE with 30% bonus. So yeah, unless you're very, very lucky, at best, you're gonna have 20% amp damage on 4 big AoE. And by the way, there are no 4 big AoEs. So 20% of 4, well, times 4 is not a full big AoE. It's only 80%, right? It's a way of seeing it. So even in the best case scenario, you are not outputting as much damage, right? If we only care about damage, all right? So yeah, you already want to double cast BQ, Zhuge Archer. So what you want is to minimize double cast, uh, yeah, you just want the bigger odd. So because it's that way, all right. So actually, so that is when you have the other commander being the primary. Actually, I didn't prepare well enough, so that doesn't change. But if you put Philip primary, all right, suddenly you have, well, 30% chance for double casting, and then you have a 60 times a 20, or times 100 for being readable, sorry. Right, you have only 12% chance to double cast it. Because it's a 20% chance, but it's reduced because you first have to fail a double cast on Philip. So in order to maximize um, the big hitters, you want them primary because you are more likely to double cast them. All right. Uh, and again, if you're a long time, like if you watch my first videos, that talent tree is garbage. There is nothing valuable in there. All right. You do not want to run leadership style like 3 troop types. This is good, but it's not that much either way. This is good, but the numbers are low, like the same. This is useless. Rage when it sucks. You're already getting more rage because of, well, the counter attack you launch, and you're gonna deal less damage anyway because you're getting crushed. And this is healing. This is useless. So you have this that is decent, but numbers is low. Decent, but number is low. Good. All right. You have 3 big things. Yeah. Just don't know what to do with your points. So whatever. So yeah. And finally, I kind of forgot because the Queen's video was very long. I forgot to explain why you want to lock it. Well, because to lock the expertise in the very specific case of Queen pairing. Well, simply because you are delaying. Like even even in that scenario, even let's say in a weird scenario where you minimize double casting Queen, because double casting Queen is actually not, it's delaying Philip's buff, which is the whole point of that pairing. Because if you do Queen, Philip, Queen, because of the double cast, you will do Queen again, and suddenly you do not have 2 seconds out of 4 seconds of the skill cycle with the Philip's buff. You only have, well, 2 out of 6. So double casting Queen sucks. And even if you put Queen secondary, you still have 10% chance to double casting Queen, which is more than 0. Right, so yeah, and obviously you're gonna run Queen primary. So that's 20% of nerfing yourself for literally no benefits. There is no other benefits than double casting. There is nothing else, no stats. So yeah, if you really want to run Queen Philip, which again I do not advocate for now, you definitely want to go in there on cast on blow a skill reset. Spend all the point and do not flex your expertise. All right. So thank you for watching. This is a short one, well, because I think I'm not gonna show you how I went through, 200 reports. Trust me, it was not very funny. Thank God I picked low R. All right, this video is now over. You can just stay for the extra. I picked low R because if it's a double cast, so it should be here, I would have a green number. All right, so basically I just scroll very quickly. I check if I have 3 cogs. If I have 3rd cogs, well, I check if it's green or not. Even with that very fast way, it was still very long. So, well, please drop a like and subscribe because I went through a lot of pain to provide you that data. All right, and you could think that, yeah, it was obvious, like you did yourself dirty for nothing. Yeah, bro, nothing is obvious with their skill description. Trust me. If you didn't watch my Zhuge video, well, go watch it. I just showed you a screen of my Zhuge video. Let's change it, alright? Let's change the description. Alright? I was right. There are still a few skills here and there that are, I think, still wrong. I couldn't give you any from the top of my head, but yeah. Whenever there is a new commander, I don't trust lilies. Like, I don't trust them. Regarding queens, they even rewarded that first part. So it was more obvious that you cannot city hop from it. And they rewarded also that part over here, yeah, for it to be a bit less, yeah, unclear. So yeah, even themselves acknowledge it. I think it's still not very, very perfectly clear, all right, but it's better. So yeah, never trust Lilith when they read the commander. There is always something wrong. Hey, do I have enough to expertise him? Not yet. All right, that would have been a nice conclusion. All right, thank you for watching. I already dragged it way too long, way longer than necessary. So goodbye.